My name is Alon Stivi. I'm the CEO of Direct Measures. Direct Measures was founded to provide security training and consultation, as well as protective services. We specialize in counterterrorism training and active shooter survival. I served in the Israeli Defense Force and Special Forces and seen action in Lebanon in the fight against PLO and Hezbollah in 1982. Well, the threat of active shooter, whether it's an internal threat, like a deranged student or an employee, or an external threat like a terrorist attack or maybe gang violence that's spilling into campus, is a real threat. We have an increase in this type of incidents last year, and we can no longer ignore this threat. So schools need to become more proactive in improving their security system, security procedure, and training the staff and faculty as well as select students in how to respond in the event of an active shooter attack. Law enforcement has already taken steps since Columbine at improving their response capability and tactics. They are training to respond faster, more effectively, more aggressively, and end the threat as soon as possible. But schools haven't yet gone that route in large numbers, and they need to come to terms with the fact that law enforcement, as much as they would like to, will not be able to respond within the first 10 to 15 minutes of an active shooter incident. And within the first 10 to 15 minutes, that is typically when most casualties occur. And therefore, it is incumbent about the on-location responder, the school staff and faculty, and select students, to be prepared to protect themselves and survive those first 10 to 15 minutes of an attack. This is why I've developed several years ago a program called CERT, Attack Countermeasures Training Certification. And my goal was to provide information that is essential to security and survival and safety at school in the event of an active shooter attack. The program is taught online as well as in person, hands-on, at different locations and schools across the country, and has been adopted by many schools and universities already. It teaches people how to prevent violence and then how to survive violence if prevention is impossible. And as far as the survival, it teaches people on location how to hide effectively, and if impossible to hide, how to evacuate and escape the shooter, tactically correct using cover and concealment, and then if impossible to escape, how to barricade themselves effectively in their classroom to prevent the shooter from entering, and if that's impossible, how to counter the shooter when he enters into the classroom to survive. I've actually designed the program to be simple and effective and easy to understand and learn and remember by anyone without any special training or background. You don't have to be a law enforcement background or military background. You don't have to be a martial art expert. Anyone can learn this, men and women, and anyone from the age of 13 and up can understand those concepts and apply them in the real world against an active shooter or during a critical incident. And this is also the reason why I decided to put this training online. So I'm able to reach a lot more people that way, and you can actually learn those concepts and those fundamentals through the program that we offer online at accert.com. I am particularly concerned with the possibility of having not just one single or two deranged students or perpetrator come into a school or a movie theater and kill other people. If one person can do this much carnage and damage, can you imagine what potentially a group of trained terrorists could do if they operate, say, like they operated in Mumbai, using the swarm tactics and striking multiple schools at the same time? This is a nightmare for any parents in America or anywhere in the free world for that matter. And therefore, we need to be prepared for what we are facing right now will allow us to be prepared in case something like this happens. It is very sad to see what happened in Connecticut and what happened in Aurora. But there is a lesson that we can learn from that. And the lesson is we must be prepared because it can get worse. I have no doubt that any type of hostility or increase of hostility in the Middle East or elsewhere will involve a response and intervention by terrorist organization and retaliation against Western target and American target. That has occurred in the past and is part of the terrorist agenda. As a matter of fact, what is very interesting is, most people don't know that, Hezbollah, which is a bona fide terrorist organization in southern Lebanon, which committed atrocity and killed innocent people around the world, have their own television station and broadcasting channel. And believe it or not, they've broadcasted in the past 2 months 3 shows about Connecticut. What is it to them that they care about Connecticut? The connection is obvious. They are paying attention to what's happening in our country here, and they are seeing the vulnerability and weaknesses and the impact that such attack have on our morale, on our government policies, on the public, and they are planning accordingly. If something does evolve or develop in the Middle East, there is a very strong possibility that Iran, or potentially even Syria, the current government of Syria, would use terrorist organization as proxy to retaliate against American as well as Israeli and other Western targets. And we need to be prepared.